Yo, you already know who it is. You back with Iameddiejackson. You already know Directors Den's finest. Columbus, the city zone, KFC. You already know how we get down. Today, we have our first off the couch segment. I'm super excited about this, man, because I feel like the person that we interviewing today held down the city for many years. He's still holding down the city. And before I bring him on, y'all know I've been on my Shannon Sharp, you know what I mean? I gotta give him the intro that's due, man, because this man he's a legend here in the city. Our distinguished guest hails from the vibrant city of Columbus, Ohio, where his remarkable journey has solidified him as a true luminary with a trailblazing spirit. He has played an integral role in the inception of several iconic brands, including Soul Classics, Kings Row, the acclaimed What We Talking About podcast, Trendsetters. As a leading force behind 107.5, he has left an indelible mark as a cultivator of the culture, a journalist and a published writer within the entertainment sector. Under the prestigious umbrella of Power 107.5, he captivated audiences with his insights and revelations through the 614 news and gossip, a veritable maestro of vibes. He has set the standard not only within Columbus, but across Ohio, redefining the art of hosting unforgettable gatherings and bringing important people to the city we live in. This is our city, and he's always kept Columbus at the forefront of his mind and his goals and plans. Beyond his trendsetting endeavors, he now takes center stage as a lead in an eagerly anticipated film set to debut this year. It is with great honor that I present to you today the epitome of talent and the charisma, the incomparable Dez Arnez.
I ain't never had no intro like that. I ain't never had no intro like that, man. So I appreciate it, bro.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you for having me. I didn't know I was the first guest with was off the couch.
This is the first guest for the Off the Couch
Oh
series,
man, so I feel like I gotta set the tone, huh?
You setting the tone.
All right, man. Let's get to it, man.
Mr. Fly, they call him Uncle Dez. The man, I've been doing my research. We about to get into it.
You've been doing your Googles.
We about to get into it, man. Dez, it's a pleasure having you just here on the Directors Den, man.
Thank you for having me.
As somebody that, it's crazy because I always knew about you, but never really knew you until I got to know you. And then you get around you like, yo, this dude is low-key infectious, man. like every time we shooting or doing something, people think he Bron.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, golly, who is this guy, right? So I had to do my own homework, man. You were born here in the city of Columbus.
Absolutely.
Columbus is your native city. This is where you from. This is what you bleed.
For sure.
Talk about life for young Dez, growing up in the Columbus streets, and some memories you have just growing up here in the city, man.
So like you said, man, I'm born and raised from Columbus. I'm one of four boys. Shout out to my mom and dad, Sharon D. and Scoot Dog. I'm the third child. I got two older brothers, and I got a younger brother. Me and my younger brother, we are 2 years apart. Okay. And then me and my second oldest brother, Sharif, we are 5 years apart. And then my oldest brother, Antoine, some people may know him as Tricky. We are 10 years apart. So that's that. We grew in.
So you the youngest?
No, I'm the third.
I'm the third. Okay,
I'm the third. Yeah. So. Some people say I'm the middle child. Some people don't. It depends on who you talk to. Yeah. My childhood was a little different because out of all my brothers, I'm the only one that didn't play sports in school. You feel what I'm saying? So, I was into it, but that really wasn't my passion. Like this stuff that I'm doing now, what has always been my passion. But back in that. Kind of showing my age, but back in that time, there wasn't, we didn't have Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. We didn't have these outlets. So,
Had to get it out the mud, man.
Yeah, so there wasn't really like, I guess places that my parents could put me into like pursue my dreams or you feel what I'm saying.
Right,
So I did I did what we always do, which I'm glad that I did it. Play basketball at the rec centers.
Right.
I grew up in a neighborhood called Framingham.
Okay.
So if you're from the northeast side of Columbus,
I was about to say northeast. Okay.
yeah, right across the street from New Covenant.
Yep,
But when I was there, when I was out there coming up, New Covenant wasn't always all that was woods. All that New Covenant,
Wow, really?
Those apartments, Faith Village, like all that stuff was woods until you got all the way up until the Westerville intersection. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean the car dealership was.
What time frame is this? Like late
early 90s.
Early 90s.
Early
Okay.
90s.
Okay.
Early 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like that. They just started building that stuff to like the like late 90s is when all that stuff when the development started happening in that area. You feel me? So so that's that. I've always just. I mean, people that went to school with me, they would say, I was always like a class clown. I was always just a silly dude. You feel me? Just really just trying to figure it out. Really just living life.
You
know
can
what I mean?
tell. You can tell that you just love life. That you, it's something about Dez when he come around.
Uh-huh.
Like and it's so crazy because you would think for the outside in, he almost looks serious, like a real serious dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then you get to really. Like being around you, like yo, people really love this dude.
Yeah,
Man.
I mean, so
where did that come from? Like what? Because everybody got their start, right?
Yeah. So I mean, like coming, like I said, once again, when you growing up in a house with 4 boys, you feel me? What? One thing I will say about just my household, period, like I just come from a household of love. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad is still together. You feel me? Me and all my brothers, like we did the brotherly fight and stuff, but it was never none of that like serious, like punching each other in the jaw, like roughing each other up type stuff. You feel me? And so, you just grow that knack of just like picking on each other. You know what I mean? My brothers used to pick on me, and my older brothers used to pick on me. So then of course it trickled down, and then it just came to once we all start getting older, it just would be a Royal Rumble, like everybody gets everybody type stuff. You feel me?
Right.
But as far as I guess people just loving me, when you speak to my mom just always said like ever since I was a little boy, like I just never really met a stranger. Like I always was just like a bubbly, happy kid, just talking to people. And as time went on, just entertaining, making people laugh is just an outlet for me. It's just something that I just genuinely love to do. But it's like two sides to me. So like if I'm around, like you said, so if I'm with a group of people that I really don't know, I'm gonna be quiet because I gotta observe. I gotta like see what's going on, see peep the energy,
fill the room.
Yeah, like I'm like a chameleon. I can blend in with whatever's going on. So it's just like if I'm in a room and everything is just like real serious stuff like that, then I'm probably gonna just be chill. You know what I'm saying? If it's like a more relaxed, everybody having fun, I'm gonna fill out the vibe and then I'm gonna open up more. You know what I mean? If you're around the killers and drug dealers, I'm gonna blend in with that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not saying that that's what I'm into.
Did you
but
kind of feel like growing up in the city, especially in that time, gangs was like really, really heavy in the city.
Yeah,
North Posse, a whole bunch of sides. Do you feel like you had to almost like blend in and hide and mask, or
nah? I mean,
how was that for you?
Well, me coming up, it was, the way the city moved now is totally different. When I was coming up, you really didn't leave your side of town. You feel what I'm saying? Unless like you went to go see your family that stayed on the other side of town. So if you was from up north, you stayed up north, east, whatever side of town, you pretty much stayed on your side because everything was provided for your side of town. So we went to the Northland Mall, you know what I'm saying, before Easton. Like went to the Northland Mall, or in my area, we would go right up to Northern Lights. You know what I'm saying? So KC's and I mean, I don't know, you dropping. I mean, if you really was around that times, Imperial Sports. You feel what I'm saying? All those type of stores or whatever. You feel me? So, and then you went to. Later on they had open enrollment, but you went to the school, so you stayed in your neighborhood, you went to your neighborhood schools, you feel me, and it was like more community back then. Like now, it's more spread out, which is cool because you can kind of just move and shake. But I never felt like I had to. But to answer your question, I never felt like I had to blend in with that stuff because, my mom and my brother, my oldest brother, that was like my, that was my role model coming up. You feel what I'm saying? So I always watched how my oldest brother moved. So he never was like, he wasn't in the streets, but he had like a lot, he hung around street cats. You feel me?
Right.
But he always stayed him. He never was somebody that he wasn't. And
Right.
he was cool with everybody from all sides of town. So
Now, all brothers?
all brothers.
Okay.
All
I grew
brothers.
up, so my dad had 7 boys. So it was all brothers this way
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Talk about just that relationship growing up, just with having your brothers. How does that play a role in just like
Just mold me?
Yeah.
So like I said, so my oldest brother, Antoine, that was my role model. You know what I mean? That was like the example I had in my house. Of course, my dad, but like my oldest brother, he was just a hustler by nature at an early age. I'm talking about when he was like 13, he had like multiple jobs at that age. He
Right.
was selling papers and all that type of stuff. Then when he got older, he had multiple jobs. And then, we are the reason why he became a barber. So like to this day, people be tripping out because he doesn't charge us to cut our hair. And they be like, man, you don't charge your brother. And he like, I wouldn't be a barber without them. So
Right.
when he was like 13, 14, he was cutting the whole neighborhood. Like we would have lines in our garage,
That's
like waiting to get their hair.
crazy.
You know what I mean? So my brother would
So
literally
he
cut
been
the
at
whole
it for a
neighborhood.
minute.
Yeah. So and that's how he honed his skills.
What's the barbershop? Shout it out.
So he's at Steve's Barbershop.
Steve's,
That's where he's at, right there on Morris Road.
Okay, shout out Steve's Barbershop, man. Make sure y'all go get cut up.
Yeah, man. So my brother was just, my brother was just he was just a fly dude to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, like the Jay-Z songs go, what'd he say? He was fly. I used to steal his gear. Mama loved me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how it was. So that's how it was with, my brother Antoine. Like, when we got older, he would go to school before me. So when he would go to school, when I was in middle school, I'm putting on the Tommy Hilfiger stuff. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm wearing the long stuff before long stuff was cool. Man, all the time. You know what I'm saying? But then it just, oh man,
Stop wearing
stuff. So that was that. And then my brother Sharif, he my brother Sharif, he's different between. I mean, we all different, right? But my brother Sharif, he's he just be in his own zone, man. But like Sharif was it's crazy because he was like naturally gifted. He was really good at track back in the day. And then he was like a late bloomer at basketball, but he got like, he got good.
Nice.
Like when he was older, had a crazy jump shot. So I used to look up to him, but on that aspect. And then my little brother Pooh, like, a lot of people know him. Everybody think we twins. Like Pooh was like a child prodigy, like when it came to basketball. I'm talking about like 5, 6 years old. He was just crazy handles, just like he picked up on basketball quick. And then it was just me, like, like I said, I was in the sports, but I wasn't in the sports like that. But I was into Rap City, Def Comedy Jam. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of stuff that that's what I watched. That's what I wanted to be.
And that was like real entertainment for us back then.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's like Martin Lawrence was a big influence for me back in the day. Like I wanted to be like Martin. You know what I mean? Like
crazy.
Even when I watched the show, that's why it was like a full circle moment, and we'll get to it when I worked at 107. But it was just like I wanted to be Martin Payne. You know what I mean? So
that's crazy. Hold on, we will get there. We will get there. That's a funny fact. Because I did radio myself, and one of the people that I always used to just think was the stuff was Martin Lawrence.
Man, Martin Lawrence, bro.
I feel like it was almost like just the charisma, and just the style that he had. You just always wanted to emulate that. Did you go to college?
I did it like a year and a half in college.
Okay.
So I went to Central State.
Central State, okay.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Marauders. For God, for Central, for State. Hey, man.
Central State. My cousin went there.
Yeah, man. Listen, that year and a half, man, what a time to be alive, man. So it's crazy because my incoming freshman class, it was me and 40 other people from the city. We all went to Central State. So shout out to my dog Jay Moore. Shout out to my dog Chatty Addy, Jay Murph, Sean Penson. Who else? My homie Falls. It was a whole bunch of us, man. Shout out to my cousin Skeezy Mac. You know what I mean? We was so when we came to Central, we kind of helped like change the culture of Columbus because like before we got there, really wasn't a lot of people from Columbus there.
Really?
So like Two of my neighborhood friends went there. That's what got me to Central State. So to tell you the story, look, I didn't do no visits. I didn't go to like
no visits.
I didn't do. You know how everybody be going on the college tour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I ain't do none of that shit. This is how I went to. I did an unofficial visit at Central State. My mom let me skip school one Friday. I went up to Central State with my homies Dave and Craig because they was already there. I stayed with them. They stayed in the honors dorms. You know what I'm saying? Because they were smart dudes. So I stayed in the honors dorm with them. And so I go up there, right? And showing my age. Look, when I go down there, this was the first year. So if you was around during that time, right? Wright State is not too far away from Central State.
Right.
They used to do these parties at Don Pablo's at Wright State. That was the icebreakers out there. Shout out to my dog, DJ O'Peasy. You feel me? He's from the city. Legendary DJ from the city. That's my guy. He does life insurance and stuff now. Tap in with him. You feel me? But O'Peasy, you changed my life, and you are the reason why I went to Central State. So the first year at Wright State, the first year they did the icebreaker at Don Pablo's, I went to that icebreaker. Mm-hmm. I'm a senior in high school at this time. Mm-hmm. I go down there with them. I'm in there. Boom. At the time, there was this girl. She was like the starting point guard for Wright State. I'm in the party. She come and give your boy a twerk. I said, it's over with. I'm here. I'm here. Twerk me crazy. Club going crazy. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in the building. So that was my visit. That's how I went to Central State. So then the next year, we all come down to Central State, and it was some wild times, man. The way we was living, bro. I'm gonna be honest. If it turns into like a Netflix doc, man, some people might get in trouble, bro. Cause it really wasn't nothing like that. It was just like it really was crazy. It really was like the 13th grade, bro. Like the type of stuff that was just going on, bro. I'm talking about
staying in high school.
Bro, listen, man. Like, we waking up in the morning. I'm talking about it's 10 o'clock in the morning. You might walk down the staircase. It's a dice game going on right now. Like, I'm talking about bands on deck. That's how I learned how to shoot CeeLo. You know what I'm saying? I was only shooting craps. I learned how to shoot CeeLo in Central State. Crazy. So, man, we shooting dice.
I heard Central State was wild.
It was super undeveloped. So we didn't. There really wasn't. If you didn't have transportation, it was hard to like get food at certain times of night. So it was like, it was kind of like you was in jail, 3 hots in the cot. So I'm gonna protect the innocent. But one of our homies from Chicago, he knew how to break into the caf, bro. So we used to break into the cafeteria every single night. Not on no like just because we was hungry, like you know what I'm saying. So we were breaking there.
That's crazy.
We filling up the water jugs with juice and stuff. I'm telling you, bro, we was living crazy, man.
Having the mini fridges full at the crib.
Listen, we used to do this, right? So the homies, we all got different little chicks that stay in the different dorms and stuff. So we would go in there, right? One of the all right, it's your turn, Dez. I go in there, I knock on the door, boom. I'm flirting with the chick, messing around with her. I might give her a stendo hug. We on the bed, rolling around the bed. The homies come in. We boom, 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 boom. Raid the fridge real quick. We out. We go to the next one. You know what I'm saying? We do that 3-4 times. We eat. We good.
You had to survive in college, man. You had to survive in college. When I was in school, man, I had to do a lot of crazy things that I ain't gonna lie. I feel like college. If you had to really go back on your life and think of what was the time in my life where I probably really could have like did some time. Yeah,
man. So it wasn't no wild stuff, man. No freak offs or nothing like that was going on.
You mentioning it may suggest the rap.
None of that was going on, man. But we was just, we was just doing young and dumb stuff, man. We had a ball, man. So
it sounds like, college, like you going to college, obviously kind of like really just poured into just the person as far as like from a personality standpoint.
Yeah.
Is that where when you came, so you went to college, you came back?
Yeah, so this the thing, because that's the problem, man. I almost said a problem, but so when I was in I was bad in fucking school. So when I was in school, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I was just doing just enough to get by. You feel what I'm saying? So when it was time for me to go to college, I didn't have no, I ain't had no scholarships or nothing. You feel me? So, I take out a loan. I'm in school. I'm doing good. You know what I mean? I'm getting good grades and stuff like that. But I still didn't really know what I wanted to go to school for. You feel me? So then what happened was, so after like that first year, then I went back, did the next semester, and then after that was over, I started really just evaluating. I'm like, man, I really don't know what I want to do. Of course, I'm a communications major because that's the only thing I could really think of at the time. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm just like,
hey, bro, don't come down on comm majors.
Yeah,
I am definitely a comm major.
I'm like, they're like, what you want to do? I'm like, work at the radio. Oh, communications. I'm like, all right, cool, let's go. You feel me? So I just made the decision, man. So I dropped out, and my mom was upset about the situation, and I just was like, Mom, what I'm saying, I'm gonna figure it out. You feel me? Like I'm gonna be cool. So when I come back home, I'm still, I'm just running the street, still kicking it. You feel me? And I'm going out, and I'm like, man, if I'm gonna be going out, I got to figure out a way to make some money off this. You feel me? And so the girl I was dating at the time, she was cool with a local DJ who now everybody knows DJ Fundamentals. So she like, yo, like, and everybody was telling me like, yo, you should start hosting parties. You feel me? Because I would do the talent shows and stuff at the high school, and that's what really opened my eyes to become a host. So
doing the talent shows.
Yeah, so my one of my mentors was DJ O Sharp. If you're not familiar with DJ O Sharp, so DJ O Sharp was not only a DJ, but he also worked at the Northeast Rec Center. So I knew O Sharp for a long time, since I was a little kid. So he seen me come up from a little kid to high school. He comes to our high school because he also went to Mifflin as well. I went to Mifflin, and so when he's at the high school, because he was managing. There were some kids that went to school with me. He was managing them. They were rappers. So rest in peace to my man Courtney. He went by Ozzy, Octane. And so he came to see him. And when I hosted, and he seen how I just like had the school going crazy, he came up to me. He was like, Dez, I don't know what you want to do, but if this is what you want to do, like hosting and stuff like that, you should really like take it serious because you're really good at it. So that's what sparked the idea, right? But I still was kind of unsure about it.
Right.
Because I was just, I felt like I was like funny in the neighborhood or funny with people that I know, but it's different when you're dealing with people you don't.
Right.
So fast forward, I come home, I get introduced to Fundamentals. Fundamentals like, okay, y'all heard about you. You want to host? Come to the Red Zone tomorrow. I'm doing a party. This is when the first Red Zone, you know what I mean, before they shut it down and reopened it. So I go up there, and he just threw the mic in my hands. So at first, I was weak. Because I did, you know what I mean? I was nervous, because once you say something on the mic, everybody going to pay attention. So I'm just like, I didn't really know what to say. I didn't really know how to, control the crowd. So it was just like, bombed.
That's
you
crazy.
Feel what I'm saying?
You threw you right there on the spot.
Threw me on the spot, right?
That's crazy.
Bombed. So then, he like, it's cool. We just, we got some things to work on. So we would just, I would meet him at his apartment every day. And we would just practice. But what I was practicing, so then what started happening is when I would go to the club, I wasn't going just to party. Now I'm like paying attention to what's going on because at this time, this is when City News was the man, right? So he hosting every club, right? He hosting every club, he doing every party. So I would pay attention to him, see how he doing it. And then I would watch like different people like rappers and stuff like that, entertainers, and I would just watch them and see what they do and see how they did certain things, and I would just take little pieces of their repertoire and just make it work for me, and then the rest of
Bill Dez Arnez.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
I feel like that was a long-winded story, but
but that was good because I've always wondered, you know what I mean, like how did you kind of get started?
Yeah, so that was
I didn't know you were. Like, I'm 34. I didn't know that you were. You ain't old. Yeah. Like, you're much older, than I am.
Yeah.
How old are you? 40?
I'm 39.
39. So
yeah.
39. You know what I mean? It's just when I see you, your charisma and just the personality makes you feel like you just a young dude. Like, you know what I mean? And then when you told me, you was like, yeah, bro, my birthday, I was like, you not 39.
Yeah, 39, man. So like that was like. my real breakthrough was we used to do these parties at it was the Cabana Club on 161.
Okay.
So that's because when I'm doing the club stuff, I'm 19 at this time. I'm 19 doing 21 and up. So I wasn't even supposed to be in them clubs. You feel me? Like that's what I be trying to tell people. Like
you really was like pushing.
Listen,
the limit,
man, I've been outside. When I first was doing clubs, there wasn't a smoking ban. You was allowed to smoke in the club when I was doing that. You couldn't smoke weed, but like, so you would come home smelling like an ashtray. Like it was the smoking ban was one of the best things that ever happened. I'm so glad they put that in effect.
Smoking restaurants,
bro. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so I would host the Cabana Club, but I really wasn't the host because at the time this is when the radio was the radio. Mm-hmm. So Cabana is paying City News in the radio station to have City come to the club. So I'm really like just opening up for City, but I really didn't know the game at that time. So I used to think City was hating. I'm like, man, because like when City would come, like sometimes he would let me rock out a little longer than usual. Then he'd be like, I got to give him the mic, and I'd be mad. Like, damn, everybody in the club now, I'm trying to get my shit off. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I didn't know what was going on, right? But I never openly said anything, and I'm glad I didn't because it helped me in the long run. So one New Year's Eve, we doing the Cabana party, and City kind of got there late, and I was just going crazy. And City, like, he gonna get paid regardless, you feel me? And I was just rocking out, and I went to go give City the mic, and City was like, nah, do your thing. And I just went crazy. Then at the end of the night, like, City pulled me to the side. He was just like, bruh, like, yeah, you should stick. You should keep doing this. Like you're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I was just like, boom, and then he put me on to the game of what was going on. He like, look, I never was hating on you.
This is why I had to move the way
they pay me. Like they have a deal with the radio station, so I'm obligated to do this in order for me to get my pay. You feel what I'm saying? So I was just like.
So I'm giving you really all the free time that I really have to
absolutely,
absolutely, and that's really a big sacrifice. That's crazy.
and then like I said, I guess we'll get into it later because you asking the questions. But once again, it was another full circle moment, right? Because in full circle, then I end up working at the radio station with City News.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
107.5. That's crazy, man. Before we go into 107.5, I was scouring the net. And I found this video on Vimeo called Hoopty.
Oh, man, that's a cult classic.
Hey, I have the video, and I will be putting it into the video, so make sure y'all check it out, man. I'm going to drop the link for it in the bio. But he was rapping for that time. Yeah. Which was like, I think the video said 13 years ago or something like that. Yeah. You was hot for that time. What inspired that, bro? Like hoopty. Like,
yeah. So look. So this is what happened. So shout out to my main man Craig, man. My homie Craig. We had a bro. We was out here grinding early, man. We was the pioneers of this podcast and shit. You know, I had my first podcast in 2007.
Bro,
it's documented.
I found out.
It's documented.
I seen it.
No bullshit
radio. I seen it, and I do want to get back to Craig because y'all did a lot.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he plays.
Y'all did a lot.
He plays a real big pivotal part into the development and the growth of Dez Arnez and just us. You know, we was a unit. You know what I mean? So me and Craig, we had a podcast, No Bullshit Radio, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we first started doing podcasts, nobody understood what podcasts were. Like, you got to think, back then, people didn't even really have iPods. Like, people didn't know how to listen to us.
Right.
None of that. So, like, so when we would tell people we had a podcast, they'd be like, oh, y'all got a like an internet radio show? So everybody would just try to give us music. Like, can you play my song? Can you play my song? And we like, no, that's not what it is. Like, a podcast is...
talking,
like a recorded conversation, but it was a foreign concept back then. So what happened was we was tired of just everybody just flooding us with music, giving us CDs, stuff like that. So we was back then it wasn't called that, but the kids today would say trolling. So we was like, man, fuck it, we about to start rapping, right? So we talking shit one day, and we actually did an interview with somebody. I forget what it was. We was like, yeah, we about to do a CD. And at this time, we really wasn't, but I was just talking shit. I'm like, yeah, we about to do a CD. They like, for real? What's the name of the CD you gonna call? I said Nike, Hennessy, and Women. And Craig looked at me. He said, oh, I like that. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward, right? It's time for us to we just fucking around, and our homie Tay, I don't know how, but he inquired an instrumental tape full of beats, and the first song that we did. So the first song that we did was the infamous "Stupid Fruity Hookah," right? Mm-hmm. So how "Stupid Fruity Hookah" came about was we used to go to before hookah became really big. You know, we was some of the first people doing it in the city. So shout out to my homie Madi. Him and his family, they had a hookah bar on High Street called Gypsy. Gypsy was like, Gypsy was like,
right there off of First and Grimwell. There off of First, right where that gas station, not gas station, but a little corner store right there, ain't it?
Well, they had Gypsy was where Gypsy used to be is now on High Street. I don't know what actually took it over, but it's where it's that UDF wasn't always there. The UDF member used to be further, used to be right on First. Yeah,
right.
Right
that's
there
what
on
I'm
First.
talking about. So First and Grimwell. Yeah, I used to stay right there.
Right. So, but anyway, so we used to go to Gypsy. Shout out to my homie Omeezy. So shout out to Omar, Ronnie Mo. They put me on to hookah. Right, so when I first took me to the hookah bar, I was just like, "What the fuck is this?" Because I didn't smoke, like, you know what I mean. I wasn't even fucking around with weed or nothing like that. So I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And then just was a little awkward. You know what I mean? I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" I'm like, I'm like, what's going on or whatever. So then what happened was, we would be out late because Omar he would go to the clubs with us. You know what I'm saying? He was like part of the promotion team. So we would be out late as we get done going to the club. We would go to Gypsy because Gypsy stayed open late. So one night we was in Gypsy, and then at this time, this is when I was like super duper heavy Gucci. Like Gucci's like one of my favorite. You know what I mean? Like he's undisputed. So, but I used to just bump Gucci all the time, and OJ the Juice Man. So make the trap say "hey," right? So when OJ the Juice Man be like, "Stupid Fruity, crazy swag." Yeah. So that's how I came up with Stupid Fruity Hookah. So I was just in the Gypsy clowning one day. I was like, "Stupid Fruity Hookah got me jumping in your lane." It was really OJ the Juice Man inspired, right? And I would just say that line, right? And everybody would be like, "Yo, Dez, you got to turn that into a rap song." So
that's funny.
The Stupid Fruity Hookah beat was originally it was only like 2 minutes, right? Mm-hmm. So when we did the song, Craig did not want to do the song. I had to force Craig to do the song. I'm like, "Craig, I'm telling you, bro, this is going to be a banger." So when we do the song, Craig is really, his verse, he really is playing around. He's trying to fuck up on purpose because he doesn't like the beat. He doesn't want to do the song. But it came out so hard, we kept his verse. That's so crazy. Craig originally takes the whole beat. So we had to loop the beat so I could add my verse on there. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, and
so that's how the song came together, right? So when we made the song, we was just like giving it out, like let certain people hear it.
Right. Testing
and like people was like, "Oh shit, this is kind of hard." Mm-hmm. So then what happened was, this is when Twitter was the shit. So the Cavs was in the playoffs. I forget who they was playing. This is when LeBron was there the first time.
Okay.
So we like, all right, look, at halftime, because everybody used to watch the game and be on Twitter at the time. So we like, at halftime of the game, we're gonna drop the song and hashtag Stupid Fruity Hookah. And we did it, and it just started going crazy. And we sent it to like all the DJs, so people was just like playing it that was out, and then it just became a cult classic. So.
That's crazy.
So the Nike Hennessy and Women tape that we made that tape in 2 weeks.
So hold on. Before you go there,
I know, because I feel like I didn't get the hoopty, but that's yeah.
Nah, so before you get the Nike Hennessy, so I was gonna ask you about that,
right?
Because rumor is that that a mutual friend of ours told me that y'all recorded 8 songs in one night.
Yeah, something like that.
For this Nike Hennessy and Women album. 8 songs,
bro.
One night.
Nike Hennessy and Women was like, no rap cap. That was real. That was real life. Like
that's really out here.
That was real life. Like, you know what I'm saying? We like it, literally every song that we recorded, we was drunk. We was drinking Hennessy. We would have women around.
And y'all had Nikes on.
Yeah, we you know what I mean? We was Nike boys before Travis Scott. You know?
That's crazy.
So like, yeah, so it was just like, you know, so what was happening was, so once Stupid Fruity Hookah blew up, everybody just started sending us beats in the city. So we was just taking the beats that we liked, and then we would just literally go in and do a song, and like, even if we messed up. So if you go and listen to the tape, the whole tape is on SoundCloud. I'll send you the link.
SoundCloud, wow, I haven't heard that. Yeah, because
that's
years.
That's
what.
Crazy. Yeah, so
that used to be the platform, man.
That's really the only place that you can find the whole tape is on SoundCloud.
Yeah, people
unless you got the CD.
People used to use Dat Piff back in the day, live mixtapes.
Yeah, we ain't on none of that. SoundCloud. The whole tape is on there. So if you go listen to the tape, you gonna hear us on some songs. We mess it up on words and everything. Like we was doing everything like one take. And we was like, fuck it, nah, keep the verse. We keeping it rolling. So yeah, that's
nuts. About Craig.
Yeah.
So as I was doing a lot of research, man, I kept coming across, like, for one, I didn't know there's like a famous Dez Arnez actor. Like, it's an older.
That's how I got my nickname. Yeah. Desi, yeah. So
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
talk more about that.
Okay. So rest in peace to my grandma, Hattie. That was one of our things. We used to watch I Love Lucy. So her love interest on I Love Lucy, Ricky Ricardo, his real name is Dez Arnez.
Yeah.
My nickname is Desi. You feel me? That's what my parents, that's what, like,
right,
if you grew up with me, that's what my family, everybody called me Desi. Like,
Facts.
If you came up around that time, you called me Desi. So when I was watching the show one day, I was like, oh, damn, that's hard. Like, his name was Dez Arnez, but he spelled his Desi with an S. I spelled mine with a Z. And then he spelled his Arnez different than me, right? So I was just like, that's hard. But you know what I mean? I fuck with the name, right? So then fast forward, my senior year, I was dating this girl, and like I told you, I mean, like women. If you listen, a lot of my stories, women plays a very pivotal part into my development for growth in life. I've been certified lover boy before Drake, so I was dating this girl, and I wrote "Love Dez Arnez" at the end of the card, and I gave her the card. She was like, "Dez Arnez, who is this?" I was like, "It's me." She was like, "Oh, I like this name. It's cute." I'm like, bingo, right? But I still don't have nothing to do, like,
to do with it.
I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm not about to change my name to Dez Arnez now. Just walk around the street Dez Arnez. So then when I got into the hosting, right? Fundy goes, "What's your name?" Dez Arnez. And then the rest was history.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. That's I wasn't even going there to stumble across that, but that's really dope, man. I thought that was you know, it's only certain names that you see that stick out, right? And as you're looking up something, like I'm doing my research, I'm looking up, I'm like, dang, who is this other dude? You know, so it's crazy that there's some correlation.
But people be thinking that's like my real name. I think that shit's so funny.
I thought it was your real name. Look, this is the Dez Arnez show. Look, now when I looked, I seen that you had the CTS show.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all interviewed Kendrick Lamar at the beginning of his career.
Yeah.
Machine Gun Kelly at the beginning of height of Lace Up, right? You had Dom Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
You had DJ Holiday, Soul Classics.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all had Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
All this is 11 years ago. Listen to me. If you watching right now, I'm trying to tell you, 11 years ago, if you know where every single one of those artists came from, 11 years ago, they were at the beginning of their careers. How did you stumble across?
Don't forget about Drake. Don't forget.
No, and Drake.
Hold
on. I would not forget Drizzy.
I mean, that's just some of them.
That was actually supposed to be the first name I said, but Drizzy
that's
Drake. I mean, young Drake, dog. Like,
his first time in Columbus.
When I seen the clip, I was like, this is Degrassi Drake. Yeah, this is before he converted into Pretty Boy and Lover Boy and Certified
It was like
Lover.
So Far Gone. It was fresh off. Like So Far Gone had just like dropped not too long ago when he came out.
You talk about your growth, right? You talk about high school, and then you go to college for a year and a half. it's like this whole identity is being built up. What is the transition between you coming back, getting tapped into the market here with hosting parties and doing that type of stuff, to that? Or did these interviews come before that transition?
No, I mean it all kind of like as time was going on. This was like I said, I've always wanted to be everything that I'm doing now when it comes to this media shit. This is what I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid. So I just always had the foresight for it. Like, shout out to my man Trav Dave. Like he's been around me a few times. Like he's seen me do interviews and he'd be like, Dez, he'll see me going to an interview. I'm talking about no pen, no pad, nothing on the phone. Like just go in there, boom. Matter of fact, interviewed the Migos at the beginning of their career. This is when Offset was in jail.
I ain't see that.
Yeah. Well, that's on sound. Like it's on our SoundCloud page.
Oh,
so
okay.
like the Migos. Who else was on there? Rest in peace, Bankroll Fresh.
Okay, Bankroll.
So yeah. So I just.
And what were these opportunities when they came to Columbus and you guys just sought those opportunities to get with them, or did you guys travel? Like what does that look like?
A lot of that stuff happened just really based off relationships, man.
Right.
I just always been able to just have good relationships with people. I just have a real knack of just always figuring it out, man. I don't know what it is. I really just, I really gotta thank the man above for real. That's really. I mean, I don't want that to sound cliche, but when I really look back at my life and like really just having this conversation with you and you talk about it, it's like it really can't be nothing but that,
God, right?
Because it's like I really didn't have no like game plan. Yeah. It really wasn't like no okay X, Y, and Z. It's just like I'm just moving and shaking and just happen to be in the right place at the right time, meeting people, creating good relationships. They coming back. Oh, yo. Y'all do the Craig and Dez thing, right? All right, I got such and such. I'm gonna let y'all get the interview. And
right,
then
like almost like that, getting it out the trunk.
Yeah,
like
but we will always be ready. We will always be.
Got
But that's the thing. Mm-hmm. It's like it was never we need a couple of days to prepare. Like if an opportunity presented itself, we there. We figuring it out, and we're gonna go get it.
That's the perk of being young, right?
Yeah.
I tell people all the time. If I was 10 years ago and I had the knowledge of the things I have now, if I had what I have now, bro, I probably wouldn't be married. I mean, who knows if I had kids or not, if it would be with one woman or not. But my life would look so different because when you're young, and this is to anybody out there that's really like, young. Like when I say young, like I mean high school. You hear it. This is a prime example. This is Dez Arnez, high school on. If you're listening, I'm trying to tell you, tap into what you want to do. Figure that out like now. Don't wait until you get 30, like I did, to start a production company. Yeah, but not saying that you can't, but y'all have access. Like the access they have now. Imagine, Dez, if you had access.
Yeah, I feel like if I had social media,
and you was landing interviews with Drizzy.
Yeah, I feel like if I had social media back then, I feel like my life would be totally different. I feel like I would have been on. You know what I'm saying? But even with this stuff that I did though, like I really was just doing it. You feel what I'm saying? Like I said, I really didn't have no game plan. I really didn't, and I feel like that was the gift and the curse, right? Mm-hmm. So it's that being just ready and just going out there and jumping out and doing it. Mm-hmm. But when I look back at my life, I really wish. One thing I wish I was more in tune with. I wish I was more in tune into the business side of it, because that's the thing. I was really good at being the talent. But I really wasn't good with the business. Right. You feel what I'm saying? And
which a lot of people have. You see that now, especially a lot now, because there's a lot of creatives. Everybody's a creative. Everybody that owns a smartphone considers them a creative. They can post videos, they can do things, but there's a whole nother side to that beast, right?
And that's
and if you don't learn that, like I was just on the phone with Rick from Rick and Reese. Mm-hmm. And just talking to them, you know what I mean? I'm big on like, bro, like I understand where I'm at. Where I know I'm at. Mm-hmm. It's not about the outside opinion. It's not about what people see. Like people see the show or they think like you all the way up here. It's not that. Mm-hmm. What I'm trying to tell people is I literally step back and I look at people like yourself, like Rick and Reese, people that have came before and that have done well on the platform, and try to align yourself with them to get a better understanding of the beast you're walking into. Because Absolutely. A lot of people just think that they can just hop in and just get going. Mind you, I feel like I'm halfway there because I'm a production company. I understand the technical side of it.
Yeah, you got an advantage.
But there's still so much I
Absolutely.
don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and so like I'm spending a lot of time in conversation. You know, one day I plan to, you know, treat you out to dinner and possibly sit down with you and just talk about how does that look and how do you get people to, because y'all to the point, man, what we talking about, like people are fans. People come to see what y'all talking about, and that's the goal for every podcast, I would believe, right?
It's just consistency with that, because I mean, shit, we still trying to figure that out, man. I think, you know, when I'm looking at the landscape now in the city, you know, especially with the city, and there's a lot of like dope creators out there. Like for instance, shout out to my guy Dewey. I was just on his podcast, Prescribe with the Realest. Okay. That episode should be coming out soon. So I've been linking up with him and just tapping in with him. And I think one of the biggest things I feel like one of the biggest problems with Columbus, period, is we don't know how to collaborate together.
I agree.
And I think, and a lot of it is because I don't really feel like it's like jealousy and sort of say, I think it's just one of those things where a lot of people just want to be like the one to say that I put the city on. You feel me? And not understanding that we are stronger together. So even with this podcast stuff, I think if we can, granted, I know everybody can't work together, right? Everybody can't go. But I feel like if we could really like I guess if you want to say the best of the best, because I mean we all still trying to figure out, ain't nobody doing no million gazillion views and listens or nothing, right? But like I feel like if we can come together and make like a powerhouse production company, production team, and help everybody use their resources and help each other out, I feel like we all would get a lot further. It's no different than, think about it, it's no different than the insurgence of Atlanta rap, right? Atlanta rap. Atlanta rap didn't kick in the door by themselves. It took them years to kick it in.
But so many people. You think about So Def. You think about all the platforms that's came out of there. Even now, you know, with the Migos and Gucci Mane and so many. I mean, they care. I mean, they're constantly grooming up the next person.
Absolutely.
Like it's not just T.I. T.I. ain't worried about being the king of the South. He gonna still proclaim it, but he like, look, eventually the king gotta get replaced, right?
So it's like we gotta have more camaraderie for us to help grow and bring that attention. I mean, because if you look now, like you see what the Detroit scene is doing. You know what I mean? Like Detroit, they kicking in the door, and they're a lot of those guys are all working together. Yeah, a lot of those guys are just working together. Yeah,
I feel like, and a lot of people feel like Ohio is one of those states where people feel like they have to also escape to make it, right? Like people feel like I gotta go to Texas, I gotta go to LA, I need to go up here to Michigan, I need to partner with people in these states because that's the number one thing we realize here is we don't have good collaboration. At least if I go down to Atlanta for about 2-3 months, you never know who I might brush shoulders with and what opportunities they may be able to bring to the table. And then what we do in Ohio, we shun you, right? Hey, don't come back,
right?
You know, you try to jump off tour buses and all that, you get stabbed.
Yeah, man. So I think if we can figure out a way to like make it work, ain't nobody really making no money right now. So let's all sit down and kind of, because if you're a star, look, the stars is gonna shine regardless, right? And I don't know. I feel like if we could do that, I feel like the sky would be the limit. Yeah, like in this type of space.
I told my team, me, Kim, a couple other guys that I have that just want to be a part of what we got going on. I told them, look, when we post episodes, hide the likes. Why? I love that feature. Because it allows you to stop getting so wrapped up in that and just be consistent. Like,
that's what it is.
We drop in 3 videos a day. This video in the morning may get run. This video in the evening may not. Some days the evening one might get run. I don't care about what's getting. We're trying to flood the algorithm with content to be consistent. If you put out enough episodes, you put out enough content, you continue to push the envelope, eventually the envelope has to open, right?
That's how what we talking about kicked off. You know what I mean?
Like no matter where you at, and like you don't have to have like a big production company or anything like that these days, man. Like these iPhones do just fine. iPads do.
We do everything in house, man. We do everything. The only thing we really missing is I mean you've seen the operation. The only thing we missing is just a consistent on the video side. Yeah. And I get it. Like that stuff is not easy. You know what I mean? But other than that, like we just stayed consistent, Yeah,
I was talking to Rick yesterday about possibly like doing whether it looks like, maybe just starting off just one, right? Like, that's just, I'm a firm believer. Just do one. Like, I ain't worried about like repetition and all. Like, let's do one group podcast. There's enough production companies. Me and my boy Kim got about 10 cameras apiece, like 10 cameras together, lights, all that, right? If we need a venue. There's so many people out here that have access to that. Everybody contributes something to the production of it, and we just do it. Why not?
Yeah, or you know what I mean. I think my goal would be if we could like really get like a compound and kind of like and start like some type of network. You know what I mean?
But what I'm saying is, it starts with camaraderie.
Yeah,
right?
It
starts with just that gathering, right? Because this is the problem. People jump so gun ho into things. They jump head first. Like, let's all do this. I was asking somebody about an investment that they did, and he was like, bro, the reason why it didn't go is there's too many shares, too many people that got a say in it, right? And that's always our downfall.
Always our downfall.
Because, I think we should do it like that. I think we should.
Everybody want to be the leader. Everybody want to be the man.
Instead of just appointing somebody and somebody just setting it up and inviting people.
You got to play your role, man.
Exactly.
You got to play your role, man. Listen, if you look at the Miami Heat team, somebody got to be Udonis Haslem.
Yeah. And
everybody talk about Brian. Everybody talking about Bosh.
Retired.
Yeah.
And still get your jersey
somebody got to be
retired.
Chalmers. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody can't be the big three. Like, you know what I'm saying? So.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people are just not okay with being a six man. I think a lot of people are not okay with being a bench player until you earn a starting spot. Right?
I don't be tripping. Because especially where I'm at in my life now. I mean, I never did. I've always been a team player. Right. Because I feel like I'm always gonna shine. Because I just know how to. I just know how to be me.
I feel like that's God's hand over your life, and like we just talked about in this episode, like you look back on life, man. It's some things I'm like, how did I get out of that? How did I do this? How am I here today doing this? Because this was not in the foresight.
Amen.
10 years ago.
Word.
And I was not in the same mental space, so it just goes to show you, man. Everybody's life ain't their own. Everybody's life favors not fair, right? Like there's certain things that you're gonna tap into, but I'm always preaching on this episode and on this Director's Den about being a big brother. Be the middle child. Be the one that's grooming someone, and be the one that's being groomed. Like, you gotta know how to submit, and you gotta know how to also be able to give out and pour into others. And I think, man, from everything I'm seeing from your catalog, you're doing an amazing job.
I mean, I just listen, man. That's just there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Like when I do the things that I do, I don't, when I look out for people and stuff like that, I don't do it with the intention of okay, they gonna kick back to me. You know what I'm saying? I just do it just because that's just who I am. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I just somehow, some way, it always finds its way back. You feel me? Whether today, tomorrow, or years down the line. Prime example, my man Don Petrozzi, who started Numbers Fest at OU, and now he's with PSG. They do the Breakaway Fest and all that stuff. I met Dom years ago, right? Just cool, like didn't, you know what I mean? We was just kicking it, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Years later, 8 Fest. This is when they had MGK. This is when MGK was on the rise. We had Stupid Fruity Hookah out that time. He lets us perform there. Then, a couple years after that, now I'm the main host for Numbers Fest, and this is
at OU, right? Athens.
Yeah, OU, and then that year, the best, what Dom calls it, the best lineup ever: Migos, 21 Savage, Lil Yachty, Waka Flocka Fame, Young Thug.
Yeah.
I'm in front of 15,000 people.
Yeah.
Yelling, OU.
Oh yeah. Anybody that know about Athens, the #1 party school in the country, and still
you feel
running.
Me? Signing autographs and everything. You feel me?
That's crazy.
You
go crazy.
Yeah, man.
I had plenty of weekends, Halloween and Numbers Fest and all the festivals that you've never had an experience like that. I encourage anybody to do it safely, but definitely get down to OU, man, and make sure you attend one of the festivals, man. Before we wrap it up, Dez, man, I just
right. I feel like we probably didn't get through half the questions you had.
We didn't, and we definitely gonna have to bring you back for a part 2 because because you got a lot, man. And I'm trying to be faithful to the listeners, man. I don't want to go too much over the allotted time, and just out of respect for your time, man.
It's all good. I appreciate you for having me on the platform, bro.
I seen this on your website, and I want to end on this note. Soul Classics statement, and it sounds like this is y'all's mission statement over at Soul Classics. It says, we're not just a store. We're a community-driven destination where style, passion, and innovation intersect. Explain more about the credo and how Soul Classics has just been a positive impact on the community, how King's Row has been a positive impact on the community, how what we're talking about has been a positive impact. Like, all these things embody you, they embody so many other people. Deontay, I mean, you got Yavez, you guys got, it's the names and the level. Like, when you put Dez, you say Dez Arnez, Yavez, Deontay, John, like this, bro, you talk about levels, right? Like, how are you guys pushing the envelope, and what's next for the community, man?
Well, first and foremost, man, gotta shout out to my brother Deontay, man.
Yes, sir. Shout out Deontay.
That's his baby. That was his dream. That was his vision. He brought me along for the ride, and it's amazing what he's done over the years.
In Cali now, right?
Yeah. Right. He's out there as we speak. He's right now doing demolition right now, getting the Cali store together.
That's crazy.
If you would have, definitely came from humble beginnings. Deontay is just an incredible visionary. He's always been a leader. When you really look at Deontay's life, and I'm just blessed to be along to be a part of it. You feel me? I play a very small role in it's something that's bigger than life. You feel me? And just to see the growth from, if you know about Soul Classics, we was on the other side of High Street where the Columbus Running Store. That's where we originally started, and now we
got that
we
nice
expanding.
store.
Yeah, I mean we expanding,
Nice
and
beautiful,
and now about to open up a store out in Cali, man. So really just trying to. I think the number one thing that when I look back at Soul Classics is, Deontay, I would say, will be the first person that I really personally knew that was like a real entrepreneur, right? And just to see him go through his ups and downs and how he, scratched and crawled to get where he's at, and I think it's just super dope for kids to see in the city that, you can be Deontay. He went to public school, he went to Ohio State. All that stuff. I know that, the timer clock count down. But long story less long, man, it's just, we always try to pour back into the city because, like you said earlier, people always feel like you got to leave, you got to go to all these major cities to make it happen. And I feel like we're an example of, we're still trying to get to that next level, but we're an example that you can make it happen right here in your hometown.
Man, you heard it from him first, man. Dez, the conversation was amazing, man. I got to know a lot more about you, man. You shared some good stories, man, and we're definitely gonna have to have you back on for a part 2.
Man, hit me up.
Before I close out, what's next for Dez?
Well, we got the movie. We got the movie coming out, man. So I'm excited. I'm kind of scared, kind of nervous, because I gotta see it. I can't wait till I see the final product. You feel me? Hopefully I don't go viral for the wrong reasons and when the movie come out.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, but so we got that. We got what we talking about. Shout out to my man Rio. We just started a new little
the Road Less Travel.
The Road Less Travel. So where we just kind of tapping in with different people that have like non-conventional jobs or whatever, career paths. So got that going on, and really just, man, just always trying to figure out what's next, man. So we'll never, who knows where God's gonna put me next, man. So I'm just happy to be here, man.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Hey, we appreciate having you on the Director's Den, man. Hey, guys, make sure y'all click that like button. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Make sure you tune in every week, man. We dropping episodes. We're dropping content. This is the first Off the Couch edition, and I think it was fire. Right?
I hope y'all like it too.
Let me know who in the comments who you guys would like to see next, man. I would love to get Deontay on here. I would love. We do have Yavez coming on at the end of next month, so the lineup is crazy. The people that is coming is crazy, and man, I'm just glad to be able to feed the community once again, guys. Man, thanks for tuning in to the Director's Den. This is episode 8. Off the Couch with Eddie Jackson. Make sure you follow me at Iameddiejackson at the Director's Den Podcast. And we out, y'all. Good night.